mind. Into my mind. I am a victim. This is the crime. I'm gonna tell you about the afterlife. I'm gonna tell you about what happened last night. I'm gonna tell you about my insanity. Yeah. Hey man, how come we're not live on the Facebook page, man?
I'm looking right now.
Can't see us on the Facebook page, man. What's up?
Connection.
What's up? We have a guest coming today.
I'm looking.
We have a guest on the show today. I'm going to tell you about the afterlife.
Well, it worked when I did it earlier.
I won't tell you about what happened. Well, you know.
We'll try again next time.
Jake's got a beverage.
All right, me too.
Trying again, ladies and gentlemen. Get a coaster. I'm gonna turn it over to Jake here shortly.
It actually says we're supposed to be live according to this. It says live stream. We're live streaming here and on a custom link
on the
Facebook.
Chris and Mike show.
That's what it says, but I'm not seeing the video like I did when I tried it earlier. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I'm on the what?
Oh, well. I did something wrong earlier when I copied the streaming key. Apparently, we'll try this again.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Oh, we'll just have to try again next week because I can't cancel it while we're recording. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. I did something wrong. I'll practice a little more while I'm on vacation.
You should apologize, you
loser.
Mike's on vacation, and funny side note, Jake. Last time you were on the show, Mike started his vacation. So guess what Mike did today? He started his vacation. Why, Jake? Because his birthday's Friday. So make sure you tell him happy birthday.
Thank you. The big 5-1.
Yep. Get all comfy and shit. What's up, man?
What up, Jake? Welcome back to episode 40. You were on episode number 9 as our first guest, and because I haven't gotten my new internet, you're on episode 40 as our second guest. So welcome back, buddy.
Sick. Thank you for having me.
You notice I didn't address you as anything other than Jake and brother, and welcome back. And I learned. I don't poke like your dad.
Yeah.
I respect somebody that wants to be just a normal dude when they're not at work, you know?
Thanks, man.
But unfortunately, we're going to talk about work.
Kind of weird. Hey, that's fine with me. I mean, my life for the past 3 months was work, so, you know.
Yeah, so the last time we talked to you, you had been in Japan and you told us about the sick ass tattoo that you put on yourself, and everyone was amazed, and you're still like the third most listened to episode. Let me see if I can talk. So you kind of flop between second and third all the time. Number 1 is always the first episode because we had so many curious people of the first episode. Yeah. It's number 2 and number 3 are catching up. But anyway, you always hold the second or third spot all the time. So what's been up since we saw you last?
Went back to Japan. Was doing stuff over there for a little bit. I taught this thing called a corporal's course, which is like the lower enlisted. Like they have to go on a course to get promoted. So I taught that course to 2 different classes. I was the lead instructor for both. So I was just kind of messing around with them, teaching them for like 2 months, whatever, teaching like basic Marine Corps shit. After that, I went to DI school. San Diego.
You had some big ass groups, did you not?
Ran around in the corporals course.
Yeah. They look like they're pretty good sized
Or which one?
classes.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first one, I don't really know. I need to see how much the first one. I think it was like maybe like 25 in the first one, like 25 in
Yeah.
the second one. I
Yeah, I
could be
was
wrong,
kinda-
though. I mean, it's been a minute.
It just looked like there was a decent group of people, and you said that when I saw it on Facebook, I was like, "Whoa, right on, dude! That's pretty impressive to have a group of that many people at your age and be able to not only get them to pay attention but to learn. You know, that's not an easy feat."
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, it's kind of hard capturing like the minds of like people who just like want to get drink and play video games all day. So
Yeah.
yeah. But after that, went to DI school. That was 3 months, just run and scream, try and remember shit you learned the day prior, take your tests, and just put out, man. You just gotta haul ass. Like they say it's a marathon, not a sprint, but there's times where it's sprint. It's no shit a sprint, and it's good. Like it's good. I did it, but I got like 3 more years to like master it. So But
So for those
I was like the second.
for those people out there that don't know what DI is,
Oh, it's a drill instructor with the United States Marine Corps.
okay, there we go. I knew what you meant, but there'll be people out there not knowing what that means. That's a direct instrument box to musicians like myself.
I'm a drill instructor with 3rd Battalion Kilo Company. I don't know what platoon yet because I haven't started, but I don't know if I can see it. But that's like me and my whole get up.
That's awesome
and everything.
That's a great picture, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
That's a huge achievement. How old are you?
23.
Yeah. At 23, I was standing on the stage of the Mason Jar, jamming with your dad, having a good time, playing heavy metal and rock and roll, and you're kicking ass and taking names. So don't overlook that. That's a huge achievement at 23 years old.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, it was like a shock. Like when we got near the graduation, we kind of were like, not like thinking it was real. And then like when we hit graduation, we're like, holy shit, like we're actually like about to graduate in like 2 days. Like it's like what? Like,
so take us from the beginning of that. How many people started, and like, what was the difference in that versus when you went through, the other things that you've been through in the Marine Corps? I mean, was this more than you expected, less than you expected, about what you expected?
To be honest, like there were some things I expected, but it didn't happen, or happened like at a lesser. I'm not saying like it was easy because that shit was hard. Like that was like the hardest thing I've ever done.
I can't even imagine.
Other than boot camp, but yeah, no, it's like boot camp 2.0. Like you do all the stuff the recruits do.
I guess that's my question. Yeah.
Like there's like the obstacle courses. Yeah. So the obstacle courses, the like the strength and endurance courses, they have to do like all their PTs. You have to learn how to like the physical training. You have to learn how to set up the fields. Excuse me. In accordance with like the PT. You just have to like constantly like be on the go, because like you're getting this training here, going fast, but then once you get with the recruits, like you're gonna have to go fast, because you have to get them ready to go, move them from one place to another, or like getting them dressed for this event, or getting like their knowledge book to go to this class, and they have to get their rifles because they're gonna go do drill after. So it's a bunch of like stuff that you have to think about. It's like a job that gets you thinking, and it's not It's not something you should take lightly. It's not something you should like slack off on, if that makes sense. So we learned
Absolutely.
like time management mostly. Screaming at the kids like with your diaphragm rather than your throat. Gives you like that stupid little frog voice, and it just sounds like your voice is just gone. Yeah. So, but like I would like blow out my voice every now and then, and it would hurt, but it would come back stronger, and I would just be able to scream louder the next day. And it was just a whole big thing. It was
That's something your dad
it was
can
a learning
relate to, I'm
experience for
sure.
Let's put it that way. Mm-hmm. He told me about this little spray or this little thing he used to do. I'll ask him when he comes back in. But he got me like this spray for my throat because like my voice was gone. Like it was absolutely shot. And then I did the spray stuff they sent me. And the next day I was like, I can actually like talk like a lot better. It wasn't like the best, but I could talk a lot better.
So
So
first, make sure you stay right on that microphone so everybody hears. Your message is super cool, so I want everybody to hear it.
got it.
He insists
Okay.
on using that microphone, which you have to be right on top of because it's actually like a on stage vocal mic, but he's comfortable with it and he sounds good with it. But for you, you got to stay right on top of it, just like I do.
Okay. Got it.
Was that something that was expected of you, that if you lost your voice, did you like lose points, or was that held against you, or?
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
You
I was
get
like,
props
wow,
if
that's
you lose your
harsh.
voice. That means you're actually like screaming.
Okay.
No,
I was
yeah.
like,
It's like you lost your voice. Yeah, bitch. Like get out of here. No, it's
They're like, scream louder, but I'm losing my voice. Yeah,
no,
but scream louder
you
and don't
get-
lose your voice. Now you're
Yeah.
gaslighting me.
no, like it's like no, it's like yeah. They tell you like you'll like lose your shit, and then you'll like lose it, and you like sound like this like all the time, and then
Yes.
like they'll be like Dunham, scream louder, scream louder. Now, like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you so quiet? And it's like you try and talk and you can't talk, and it's like you're just in a constant state of like fuck, like I can't fucking scream.
So now they're playing mental games with you,
it's cool,
right?
Mm-hmm. The entirety of DI school is just a mental game. Honestly, the physical stuff, if you're athletic, you can get through it. But if you're like mentally not there, like, because they do like a psych eval, and like before and then during the course, because look up like your records and shit. If you're not like all there, like all together, like in your head, then you either can't participate or you're just like you're just gonna get kicked off the course like midway through, and you don't want to like waste your time. Because that's like one of those things for me. It's like I didn't want to like say like the answer to a wrong question. Dad, what's that one throat stuff you used? Vocalese.
Yes.
The spray stuff I was talking about earlier.
It was on the tip of my tongue, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Sorry. Where was I?
You were saying you didn't want to waste your time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like
I'm paying attention.
if you, let's say, yeah. Sorry. Thanks.
I'm just being funny, man.
My
I do
mind
that
moves,
all
like,
the
hella
time.
fast now, so it's like
I do that all the
Very
time,
good.
man.
I like shoot from one topic and I shoot for another topic. So
Your dad and I, that's part of our charm, I think.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, we get sidetracked pretty easily. But so let's say like you're like going through like halfway through the course, right? And then you like say something wrong or you get dropped for something. You're like all that money you spent like for the course or prepping for the course and all the time that you spent like just like getting slayed, getting sleepless nights, like doing homework, like getting treated like ass, like it wasn't worth it because then you're just like, okay, I'm gone now.
Right.
Like, what was the whole point of this thing? That's why I was like,
That
I'm
would
not gonna
totally
get dropped
suck.
in this fucking course. Like, there's no way. Every course that I've went into the Marine Corps, I've never failed. So it's like what many people can say that too, but there's like that small percentage that always gets dropped, and I didn't want to be one of those guys,
Yeah, that's huge. And to have that kind of motivation to say, this isn't the thing that's going to break me. Something might break me, but it's not going to be this. I've said that plenty of times. You just get to that point where your willpower overcomes everything. When your conscious mind can't keep you going, it's just that willpower of, I'm not going to fail. This is going to be a success because this is something that I want,
Yeah, I get it from my old man. Like, I mean, he doesn't fucking quit, even though he like breaks his foot. He still runs. I mean, obviously when he's like better, but like, it's or like he like had like a floating bone in his hand once, and it didn't stop him from like working out, and like so it's kind of like one of those things where I took it growing up. He just kept working regardless. Like it didn't matter if he was in pain or he was tired. Like he just kept going. So it's like I would always go to class like 4 a.m, be like, "Yes, ain't shit," and I would just keep going. That's what get me through the day. Yeah, I was fucking tired. Yeah, I was hungry, but like think about that, and also think about like you're with like your buddies and shit. Like they're going through the same thing as you. Like we started out with 63, we ended up with 42.
Wow.
So it's like we dropped 21 people. Yeah,
Wow.
right. Like it's like that intensive a course.
So real quick,
but yeah, like you're going
how
through the
far
same
did
pain
the
as them.
sorry, how
So-
far did the 21st person make it into the like the 19th, 20th, 21st person? How far did those like last 3 make it into the course before they quit or got kicked out? I'm sure there was a deadline, right?
Yeah, so there's like these boards called the T20 and T40 board. It's
Okay.
basically like an academic review board. Like they made it to like week 9, week 10. That's when they got booted off. But
Out of,
you can get booted
what'd you
off
say,
like
13?
tons of reasons. Yeah, 13 weeks. It's basically boot camp all over again.
Holy crap. So you make it all the way to week 10 and you're done after all that bullshit.
And you're bye-bye. Yeah. But
Bummer.
overall, I'd say the course is a pretty, like the course overall was a pretty decent course. It really taught me a lot, really about myself, and about like the Marine Corps in general and like how it all works. Like looking at the recruit side, and then now looking at like the drill instructor side, like you're like your eyes open. You're like, whoa, like this is way different. Like now you can go and like talk to the drill instructors like behind the scenes, and then like instead of being a recruit, like being like, oh, like where are they at? Like now I know they fucking hang out over there. Like it's like, and they talk and they do this stuff. They do like, but it's not like they go back and they like go like fuck off. Like they actually like are productive.
Sure.
Like, whenever they go away from the recruits, if the recruits are at a PT event, they're doing something else. They do like CPR drills, like, and they critique each other on their CPR drills. Like people hit them, so in case the recruit goes down, they can be like, oh shit, like now this is like real. So they're always prepared. Like the drill instructors are always prepared for the worst, and like they just stay ready. That's like the most thing I can do is they just literally stay ready for anything. So which is like good that they constantly do drills behind the scenes. So it's not like they're giving the recruits like the other instructors to like have them do the PT event and they're just like sitting behind just on their phones and just chilling. They're actually constantly always doing something.
As a
Better
recruit,
themselves.
you probably thought they were fucking off every time that you had to go do something that they made you do that you hated, right? You're like, them motherfuckers, they're just like chilling
Oh,
back
100%.
there and talking to their wives and girlfriends and whatever,
Yeah, but
It's
the
like,
thing was, you just
No, they
couldn't,
actually have jobs.
Like, yeah, like you back then, you're just like where'd they go? Because you can't look around, so you would like run this way, and then you would like look like slightly for like side eye, and they'd just be gone. You'd be like, yo, where did they go? And the next moment, you see them just like running out just randomly, and it's like, yo, where the hell did they just come from? And now I'm like, oh, okay, they go over there, they do this, and then they come back out. So, oh shit.
So
Yeah,
Did
the
you-
schedule is
does that earn you
Jeez.
any kind of promotion?
the drill instructor stuff?
Yeah. Is that like another?
It can.
Okay. So now that you've graduated, you got to like earn your way to the next whatever rank. That's the word I'm looking for.
Next rank, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll come. Yeah, not colonel. That's crazy, man.
So I actually, I don't know
about
if I
that.
told you this the last time that you were
I
on,
like
but
civilian denim.
I went to high school with a
Mhm.
kid that is actually about 3 months away, several, maybe, whatever. He's very close to retiring as a colonel. He's been a colonel for quite
Yeah,
some
that ain't
time
for
in the
me.
Army. Google what they get
Oh,
a
really?
month, dude. Just do yourself a favor and
What,
maybe,
the Army general?
instead of
Or our
being
colonel?
0% chance, Google what they get for a retirement package every month. It's eye-opening. I was like, man, I wish the military would have taken me.
Yo, what the fuck? Like, a year is crazy.
Yeah, go ahead and
It's like
read it. It's
99,000
public.
a year. That's insane. But
Yeah, $100,000 a year just
Yeah.
to sit around and do nothing. But he earned that, 1,000,000% he earned that. I'm not saying that at all.
play golf and get tattoos.
But he gets to retire at my
No,
age
it's people who retire.
very, very well.
Mm.
But let me say again, he earned that, He was in the Army
Yeah,
through
no,
many,
100%.
many conflicts. So anyway, back to your story. What was a day in drill instructor school like from beginning to end? Like you're up at what?
It all depended on the day and like the week. So let's go for the first like couple weeks. We were up from like I'd probably wake up at like maybe 4:25, and I would have to get to school by like 4:45 because it was like a 5-minute walk. So I'd just wake up, get my stuff, and leave. So I'd prep the night before. So you get there, you get everybody in like the squad bay. You count, you make sure everybody's there, and then if you have like a PT scheduled, like people would go outside, they do warm ups.
They made you shave your head again, right?
We would.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was bald.
Yeah,
I was like my dad.
Quite a few people noticed
I
that.
looked like my dad for
Just-
a bit.
My mom being one of them. She's like, "Why'd they make
Yeah.
him shave his head again?" I'm like, well, because he had to start over. It's like you said, it's basic training 2.0. So sorry. A lot of people just noticed. They were like,
Yeah,
"Look, he had to cut his hair."
yeah. In this case, I had to shave it completely with a razor,
I noticed.
so it had to be like smooth. It's kind of weird. It was weird.
Yeah, you're right there with your
Yeah,
dad.
this stuff's gonna go away too. This is just temporary.
Okay.
Yeah, in about a couple weeks, this is gonna be gone.
I just do no
So,
guard
you know.
all the time because you never got to buy razors. You never have to buy razors. For my English teacher, be rolling over in her grave if she's dead. I don't know, but anyway, we'll correct that. You never have to buy razors if you just go with the no guard.
Yeah, but they're really like particular about it being like nothing there. I
Okay.
wanted to know guard. I just don't have a pair of clippers.
Yeah,
Kinda wish I
Amazon
did,
takes
but
care
they're
of everything.
Too damn expensive.
Oh no, go to Walmart. Dude.
Yeah, that's
when,
true.
When they're on sale, they're like, I don't know, $24. He's always got the craziest Oreos. Are those Oreos?
That's what I'm saying. What's the top one? Mint.
Oh
they
yeah.
have mint Oreos.
No, I just saw him at the grocery store. I'm not a mint fan though. Not horrible.
Too cold. I can't like crack them out. It tastes like Thin Mints.
Oh, okay. They're probably pretty good then.
Just Thin Mints.
Everybody loves Thin Mints. I can't eat them because they got milk chocolate and I'm allergic to dairy.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, my whole life, man.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, we've discussed it on the podcast. I was a sick little kid.
Dairy. No, he's allergic to dairy. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he knows he
Yeah.
had to be in a
It's
band
like,
with
what,
me.
Like, it just. No, yeah. Just like, bro, like, what was like. Because you were limited to like eating a bunch of shit. Like, what was like your go to, like, I guess your go to like snack, I would say. growing up?
Oh man, when I was a kid, definitely Kool-Aid and graham crackers of some kind, peanut butter, bananas,
Mm-hmm.
stuff that still had like sugar in it, apples. My mom's laughing now. She's
Mhm.
like, "You didn't eat apples."
Yeah.
It would be more like graham crackers. Yeah, it was, and my diet is still super simple, man, because so much stuff has milk in it, you know? Do yourself a favor. I challenge everybody that's ever
Yeah.
found this out in my life. One time, go to the grocery store and really look at the ingredients of everything you buy, because now it's super easy to see the allergy information because it's in bold at the bottom of the ingredients. You don't have to read the ingredients anymore.
Mm.
When I first started chopping for myself, I had to look at every ingredient on everything I bought, and I had to know every milk derivative like whey. I think there's another one that starts with a C, casein or something like that. There's like milk derivatives that you had to watch for too, because
casein.
yeah, thank you. So
Mm.
I'm not just lactose intolerant. I'm allergic to the milk protein. So whatever you just said is a milk protein. So is whey, you know, obviously butter, cheese. The cool thing now is they have so much non-dairy stuff. Like I have 3 pints of Ben & Jerry's non-dairy ice cream in my freezer, and they make the bomb. They make it out of oat milk. So it's like creamy, and they make every flavor that they make for everybody else for the most part, you know, all the popular ones. So I wish I had that kind of stuff as a kid, because I had to go to like the pizza parties that every kid had, and I had my little McDonald's sack, you know, and my fucking food was cold by the time everybody got their pizza and I got to eat. So anyway, back to drill instructor school.
Yeah, man. So you would start like when you're going like to like do the like physical training, you would do your warm-ups and you would start like at like the what do you call it? At like the schoolhouse, like the back of it, and then you would be in like the formation, and they would just be like double time. It would be like, yeah, it's cool, and they'd be like, oh, and they fucking start running. But like as they're running, they're like screaming cadence. So like you're running like half a mile to the PT field, screaming your ass off, and then like basically like a pretty fast pace, and then you get there, you have to do the entire workout, and after that you have to get back in formation after it's done, like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours later, and then run back, screaming cadence again. So it's like it's one of those things where it's you're constantly running.
I'm tired just thinking about it, man.
There was a week where for a week I was on my feet, I think for about 20 hours a day. I ran 119 miles in 5 days.
Holy shit.
So just running around.
119 miles in 5 days.
5 days. Yeah.
I don't even think I walk 119 miles in a year.
It's insane.
Yes, I do.
It's
I'm just being
fun. You're with I was with the buddies though. So I was with the boys. So it was like it made it fun when we were doing it. Like we'd even notice we were running that much, but it'd be average like 30 to 31 miles a day. With the platoons. Like, and that's with like PT events, and then like it's like in the squad bay, like running around the squad bay, and then like running around outside, going to classes, and then after like you have to run around the chow hall, you have to walk around the entire chow hall, like screaming at the kids, like tell them to sit down and stuff, like because everything you do over there is like fast paced, like you have zero break. You're always on the boys or the girls if you're a female drill instructor, but like you're always.
So
on the
you
boys,
guys had
that's what they call
actual
it.
recruits,
and if you're always in the boys. Yeah, so we
okay. I thought this
bird
was like a
dogs is what they
simulated
called it.
school
We were, like,
type
shadowed
of.
it. No.
Oh wow.
No, you
Okay.
you went with a platoon and you kind of shadowed their drill instructors, and also like you were able to like run around and yell at the kids and tell them what to do and do stuff like that. Like
wow, so you
had
got on the job
opportunities
training.
to like run the deck is what they call it. Basically, yeah. And this next 3 years is just on the job training. That's like what am I gonna call it? It's kind of like an evaluation. Like you're constantly being evaluated.
Okay.
Like there's no point where it's like, okay, you're gonna stay in this one job for the next 3 years. Like you can progressively go up to different billets depending on how you work. Yeah. I'm starting out as the lowest one. So I mean, which is it's kind of like whatever, because I mean, what else am I supposed to do? I need to learn somehow. So you gotta learn as the lowest guy in the totem pole and then work your way up. It's like the only way to do it. You can't just like be expected to do like the highest job, like the senior out of like the entire like platoon. You can't. You physically and mentally cannot do that because you have no idea what the hell you're doing.
So
You know.
I can only equate everything in my life at that level of wanting to do something as being a musician. And you can ask your dad. We played at a place in downtown Phoenix. I got the flyer here somewhere. It was a pizza joint, and they set us up in the corner, and there was no lights or anything. They didn't have a PA system. Like, we played for like families eating pizza, and we weren't that kind of band. So it was super awkward, but to your point, we took any gig we could get because it was the experience of playing in front of people. Those people didn't understand. We didn't care whether they were there or not, other than they could have been any other 25 people.
Yeah.
That was the point, we just needed the experience. So
Yeah. 100%.
I appreciate that comment and that commitment.
Yeah, it's just exposure.
Yeah, that's it. Same thing for you. You just need the experience, the hours under your belt of doing the job to advance forward. That's a good mindset. A lot of people don't have that.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Even at the school, like there's some of the students, like we would either go back over like across the street, like it's what they called it, across the street, because the DI school is separated by the parade deck, so it's like DI school, parade deck, and then like the recruits. But like there's like some people that would like complain about like doing all like the sword manual, like the drill. They would complain and be like, "Oh, we're going out again." Like yeah,
why do you think you're
motherfucker,
here?
We have to go do this shit to get good at it. Yeah, like what I like the thing is like they complain about doing drill, but like your name is drill instructor. Drill is like the main portion of that name.
Yes, it's in the
Like
title.
the most important portion of that name. It's literally in the fucking title.
And that is the exact same thing as wanting to be a professional musician, because your dad will tell you we practiced every day. We either had a gig or we practiced. There were no days off. There was no such thing. It was like to be 1% better than the best band on the bill. That was the commitment level you had to have. That was our mindset. We had to be practicing when they were fucking off.
Yeah.
So to your point about the kids wanting to play video games and shit.
Oh yeah.
While they're playing video games and they're still doing their desk job, you got to chill in San Diego, and at 23 years old, you got the lung capacity and the legs to go out and do 119 miles in 5 days, and you had the right attitude to do it. And it's just so awesome, man. I'm thankful that people get to hear this story, because a lot of people my age and older, like, there's no hope for the next generation with what we're seeing. We work with some of the laziest portions of that generation. So it's refreshing to hear your story. And that's not only because you're one of the coolest people I've ever met, but it's important that the older generation, and there's quite a few of them that listen to this podcast because I'm getting older. So it's cool for them to hear somebody has that drive, that they had as young people, because there was a time when there was no choice, man. There was no internet, and there wasn't a lot of jobs to be had. If you got a job, you had to hang on to it, and you were proud of it. Yeah. So I get that same feeling that I had when I was your age, through you, at wanting to be the best. Hello. He wanted to be the best too. And he still does. And I still do too. So it's that driving force that you can't get rid of, Yeah. It's either a blessing or a curse, and sometimes both. So.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Super proud of you though, dude.
It kind of, thanks, man. Yeah, but it's one of those things like growing up, you just need like a good reference, and some people don't have that reference.
He
So,
didn't have that reference.
I mean, I
and
was
you know
lucky.
that. You're super lucky.
The what? The baseball story. I don't remember that.
Is he backseat driving?
He is backseat driving. He was telling me a story about how, like, in baseball, like when I was like up at bat, I didn't pick my leg up to hit the ball. He like was telling me to do it, but I don't remember that. I was like,
Okay. Yeah, you got to pick your leg up as you swing the bat, stride forward. Yes.
I did hit a home run that game. I hit a home run on my birthday. I turned 9. What the fuck? This mic is crazy. Yep. Yeah, this is the only home run I've hit too.
I only ever hit one, too, dude. We have that in common as well. True story.
Yep.
It's still in my closet at my mom and dad's house.
Mike.
She could bring it over here, but this doesn't post till Sunday. But yeah, I only ever hit one, too.
Yeah.
Line drive to center field.
My dog's like. Yeah, I think mine. It was mine. I was like in the air and it rolled. Oh, it almost went under the fence too. It's like that close. I think my dad like no shit like sprinted all the way to the. Did you like run all the way to the other side of the gate and grab the ball? How'd you get the ball? I don't know. He somehow got the ball. He has his ways. Yeah. So back to the transfer school shit. So then typically after that we'd run back. We do cool downs, run inside. We would shower. It'd be like 20 minutes. Shower, change over, and then hit classes or whatever we had to do for the day.
So you had like
we go to
classroom
lunch, which we
book
don't really
work
have.
kind of shit, computer work or whatever?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. We did all our homework on like and quizzes on like computers and shit. And then when we actually did like exams, we'd have to do them on like paper.
Oh, wow. Old
But,
school.
like practice quizzes and whatever, we actually did them online. Yeah, right.
I just had to do
That's
like,
what I prefer. I don't like the whole computer shit. I'm not a computer guy.
wow. Okay. I was, and then I wasn't, and then I had to become one again to do this, and I failed at going live. Another squirrel moment. I figured out how to go live to our Facebook page like, I don't know, you can ask your dad, 3 days ago or something. I texted him. I said, I figured it out. I actually did it. I posted it. I deleted it. It was there. I had it all set up today. I had the video going, and then it didn't work. So I don't know. My point is, I've kind of had to become a computer guy again, and things have passed me by terribly. So I get it. I would figure you would be totally into computers.
No, absolutely. I have my phone. That's like the most, and I have my Xbox. That's like the most advanced I'd get.
It makes you even
I
cooler.
don't really like. Thanks, man. I don't know. I grew up always outside and shit, so I never really relied on any of that stuff. So I mean, kind of benefited me in the long run because I'm not like, because the kids now they're like always on their fucking like phones and always on their computers and always doing other stuff like go outside, man. Like,
yes, there's a
there's
world
more
out there.
important shit to do than staying inside. Yeah, I think no, I always went outside until like about like high school. Then I had football every day, so I kind of went outside anyway. So it kind of like,
Yeah, you're still outside to play football.
actually, I would play it with like Carson on the weekends, right? Yeah, I would play with my neighbors though. Like up until like about junior year, I would play outside like on our street.
So you grew up totally like I
remember,
did.
we had like the tree that was the touchdown, and we had the. Oh yeah, 100%. Because my
Yeah.
dad always wanted me to go outside.
Yeah. I mean, in the most loving way possible.
Oh yeah.
My parents basically said they didn't want to see us most of the summer, you know? It's like, go play with your friends.
No, yeah, because if you don't, then it's like you're like considered fucking weird.
Yeah. Can't sit in there by
There were
yourself.
times though where I would like be like playing my Xbox. Yeah, I'd be like playing my Xbox with like my friends and stuff, and then like they would come to the door, and I'd be like, "Ma, tell them no," and like they would just like leave. But later that day I would go out. But like when I got bored and they got off, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's just how people grow up. People grow up like watching iPads and stuff all day, and luckily my nephew likes his iPad, but he also like wants to go outside constantly.
Yeah,
So
it's important.
It's a good balance. It's like kind of like me with my Xbox. Yeah.
Because I see these 18, 20, 25-year-olds that come into where I work, and you can totally tell the ones that had parents that made them do things other than be on a device versus the ones that got to police themselves and be on the device however much they wanted. The ones that grew up on the device all the time, they can't look you in the eyes, man. They have no attention span. They don't take direct orders from anybody. It's crazy. All they want to do is be on their phone.
Yeah, it's like I'd call it like an epidemic. It's like one of those things. It's like you're gonna be so like just engulfed in your phone, you're not gonna know what's going on around you.
Exactly.
And that's like one of those things that's like, because in DI school, I never brought my phone to school. I always left it in my hotel room because I had a hotel room at the time, like on the base. Because I was coming from Japan, and then when I had a barracks room, it was like closer to the end of the course, so I brought my phone with me. But like for the first like 8 or 9 weeks, I didn't have my phone on me. I only checked it at night. I didn't even check it in the morning. I just looked at the time. I said, "All right, cool, gotta get up," and I just got my shit and left. It wasn't one of those like important things that I needed, because I was like, I have a job to do, or it's like I have to go do this. Like whenever I'd go outside with my friends, like I would like I want to bring my phone, I'd leave my iPod or whatever inside, and I just wouldn't even know what time it is. Just wait for my mom to come outside and say that dinner's ready. Like that's like one of those things that
I'm utterly
it
fascinated.
was just fun.
Like when I'm with a bigger group of people, which I just was to go to the Cubs game, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, you just see, and not in our group, because our group was super interactive and we all talked to each other, and that's why we went. You know, there was 9 of us. But to watch all the other, 30 some thousand people in that stadium just sit there on their phone and not even enjoy the baseball game that they went to, right? Like these people paid minimum $100 to go see this game, and some of them never even saw 10 minutes of the game because they were constantly on their phone. It just fascinated me. I'm like a student of human nature my whole life, right? Yeah. I just love watching people and what they do. And I'm thinking, you spent all this money to come sit here at the game, and you're not even watching the game. You're on your fucking phone. I don't get it. To reinforce your point,
because they're posting pictures of the game, man.
That's fine.
Like, hey, look where I am, and they're like
1 or 2
little pictures, and it's like, that's great, man. But like,
I took a video too, but I watched 99.9% of the game,
Yeah. What can you do? Can't do shit, because then they're like, tell you to go fuck off, and you're just like, all right, man. Like, but yeah, I see that. I kind of just don't say anything. I just kind of just like watch it happen. I'm like, yeah, that sucks for them. And then, I think more of like a keep memories in my head rather than like take pictures. I mean, I take pictures, but like I don't. If I call like my friends, I don't like photograph or whatever the entire night. I'm kind of just like, I'm experience everything in the moment, and I'm not just like whip my phone out immediately, because there's no point. Because it's like there's some things that you just can't like replicate with a photo, because everything's in your head. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you the story and tell you that you should have been there. It's like, here's what happened. And it was great. And you should have been there. I'm bad about that too, man.
Yeah.
If I take one picture of a special occasion, it's a fucking miracle. So I can't sit here and say that I'm good about documenting my life because I don't. This is the most documentation anybody's ever going to have of me ever right here. So there you have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have like Instagram and whatever, but I have like my deployments and my courses I've taught in DI school and, you know, like where I've lived, where I've been, what I've done, countries I've been to. Like, I mean, my story's there, but
Oh, you have an amazing
pictures can
story.
only tell so much.
Agreed. And that's part of the reason that I wanted to have you on here too. Just at a 23-year-old age, you know, you've been places that most people can only dream about going, and you went there and you got paid for it. So that's even better. So
Yeah. Yep, it's damn right.
people spend 5 figures to go on a Japanese vacation, you know?
And I got to fly on a really shitty military plane to go over there. It was like military plane. It was like military paid. It's really bad. But
I heard you might have had a better flight home, though.
speaking of that, though, I did. I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
So
Do tell.
on the flight there from San Diego, it was terrible. I'm talking like the planes are always full. I couldn't even get like an ILC. Like it was so shitty. But then coming back, I flew from Okinawa to Osaka, and
How far is that?
empty plane. I just moved my shit to an exit seat from Okinawa to Osaka.
Yeah.
It's from the island to mainland, but it's like about I don't know, like 2 hours. 2 hour
Okay.
flight.
All right.
So it's not bad. Yeah, so I flew from there to Okinawa, or from Okinawa to Osaka. I just moved my shit to an exit seat because there was like 10 people on the plane, and I just had the most leg room. I had the entire aisle to myself. It was great. Then going from Osaka to San Francisco, I got hooked up because I went up earlier and asked if I had an ILC, and I said my bags were on the plane. They were like, yeah, and I was like, cool. So sat back down. Once we started boarding, it was like boarding group 5 or some shit, like, you know, like back of the plane type thing. So I was walking up, and they took my passport and my ticket, and they're like, oh, like we'll be right back. I was like, oh shit, okay, this isn't good. So we left.
Mistaken identity.
Because earlier I heard that the plane was full. No, yeah, I was like, I heard earlier that the plane was full, and I was like, yo, like my military ID's in there, in that passport, and I was like, all my shit's in there. So I was like, okay, like my COVID card was in there, my boarding pass, you know, all my stuff. I gave them my shit, and I was like, okay, I should have done that. But as I was, you know, pissed off, they came back and it goes, oh, you've been upgraded. I was like, I was like, cool. I had something like it's economy plus. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get like a seat with a little bit bigger, with a little more legroom. That's it. I was very, very far from that. So I was walking down. I looked at the little numbers. I was like 9, 10. I'm not gonna get like this first class shit. I walked past. I look at like the 3 seats, whatever on the sides, and I was like, I looked and said 20. I was like, I'm 15. So I step back, and I see 15A with like one of those really big ass, like nice first class seats. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
no shit. And I was like, nice. I flew overseas, one of the ones that goes in like a bed. Man.
Oh,
That was something else.
nice.
That was, I actually like slept on a plane for once.
That's awesome, dude.
No shit. Like, and like, oh, man, it was great.
I've walked past those
I'm never
before.
flying economy again. I can't. Yeah, I have walked past this plenty of times.
Kind of, you know,
Especially
peek my head
overseas
in.
travel. Fuck that. Yeah, it's just like, oh, nice seat. I'm gonna go sit in my very tight seat that I can probably never get out of for the entire duration of the flight.
Yeah, fucking shit box after you've seen the other side. You know, even bad first class is
Yeah, now I'm just like,
2.5 times as good as coach, you know?
think about it. Bad first class is still first class.
Yeah,
put it
and
that
what
way.
you got was like, you know, 9 times first class. You got a bed. That's how the royalty
I
movie
did.
stars travel and
It was
shit,
pretty
you
cool.
know.
That's what I'm saying, because I sat down, they immediately walked up to me like, "Do you want some champagne?" I was like, "No, I'm good, but thanks." It's like, yo, this is like crazy. This is like how like rich people must feel. Wow,
That's what I said
is
when your
great.
dad told me the story. I was like, that's awesome. See, he's lived another adventure I haven't lived. I never flown first class.
No, yeah. Thinking about this one was for free too, so it's like I
Yeah,
even paid
you're
to fly
rocking it,
over
man.
there. So
You're
it's like,
rocking it.
you know, the only flight I paid for was from San Diego to Phoenix because they didn't extend my flight all the way over there, so it's like I had to pay for my own flight.
Yeah, I think you can swing that little
Which
juncture.
was good that I did it. Yeah. It was good I did it because that was like the day that like American Airlines, Delta, and United all shut down.
No,
So for like the cyber bullshit.
really?
And I got back like a couple hours before it happened.
I didn't realize that
Like my
was
flight was
that day.
delayed like 3 hours. It was that day. It was July 19th.
Dude,
July
that's
18th
crazy.
and 19th. Yeah. I had buddies that were like delayed for like an entire day in Tokyo.
Oh,
Like they were like hating it. Well, it's Tokyo, but like they're in the airport, so it's like not fun.
you're like, I'm out here dodging bullets. I made it home.
No, yeah.
I love his shirt, by the way.
Yeah. We used to play the start. Oh, his shirt? I identify
Yeah, that's
as
awesome.
American. If I wear that in California, I'm gonna get like mugged or something. I know, but I'm saying if I wear anything like
Not
that
in San
California,
Diego, would you? There's a lot of military in San
Bunch of
Diego.
liberals. There is a lot of military in San Diego, but like
I think that's the biggest military presence
like,
in the United
there's
States, isn't it?
always this. Yeah, I think there should be. California, there's a lot of bases there.
I swear I've heard that San Diego
Especially like the
area
little
is the
area, there's
biggest
FCRD.
concentrate.
Yeah, there's also. I mean, if you want to count like Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, but like there's also like the Navy base Coronado's like next to MCRD, and there's also Camp Pendleton. There's also Miramar, and there's also like Yuma. That's like 3 hours away. Another Navy base. That's another 3 hours away. Like the entire West Coast is filled. It's just
Yeah, it's
filled
pretty
with,
crazy.
you know, bases and military presence. Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
from
just
your
gonna go on one little base.
from your perspective, how does your life change if one side or the other wins politically? Because I'm sure you're like me. You don't give a shit. Because I really don't give a
Oh.
shit. Because I don't think it matters. But
Nothing. I have to work for the one person regardless. I have to get paid by that one person regardless. I still can't say shit because military. It's kind of weird. Military can have opinions on political ideas, but like it's kind of like I'm not saying it's stripping away my First Amendment, but it's like it's kind of a gray area. I can't.
well,
I think I can have like political opinions, but not endorsing it as like, oh, I'm in the military. This is what the military thinks. It's like more of a personal opinion.
and that's why I asked the question the way I
That
did.
makes sense.
You know, how do you think,
Mm.
you know, it would change your life one way
Yeah.
or the other? Not to ask you what your opinion is. Because you know, I've been around people who have been veterans and, you know, they've told me the same thing. It's like, while you're in, you got to toe the line or whatever. And you're government property and you're supposed to act like it and blah, blah, blah. But like you said, everyone's a human being and everyone has an opinion. And I've expressed my opinion ad nauseum on this podcast, so everyone knows where I land. I just don't think it matters one way or the other. You're either super rich or you're you and me. And the super rich control everything because they got all the money and they make all the decisions. And you and I kind of, you know, get a couple peanuts that fall down from the top.
Yeah.
That's
And
my
I think
opinion.
like overall, I don't think my life's gonna change as much unless we go to war or something. Then like yeah, sure, I'll probably like push people like through like faster, but I don't think anything's gonna happen.
Okay,
We'll
so
see.
how does that work? You take somebody from day one all the way through 13 weeks. When does that start? Like, as soon as you go back to work, you start with a new group of recruits from day one?
So my company right now is in cycle, so they're doing stuff right now.
Okay.
They're gonna be on the Crucible when I get back. Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
They'll be on the Crucible like the first day when I get back. So, huh? Oh, you told them what it was?
So do you got to start that with them?
So the Crucible's like maybe. If not, I'm just gonna be like down south at the depot with just like another company, just like running around with them until they come back, which will be fine. I mean, regardless, but I want to do it with my company just because, like, you know, first Crucible with the actual training company as a drill instructor. So it's like, you know, I mean, it'd be kind of cool, but you never know.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but the Crucible's like the 54-hour. It's like the 54-hour like training like culminating event of boot camp. It's like you have to do like obstacles, you have to hike, you have to do all this stuff, and then you have to climb this mountain at the end, and then you get like your little EGA, and then you just walk back to the squad base.
This is
I'm like-
54
I'm like
hours
dubbing
in
it
a
down,
row,
like
right?
playing it down. It's actually yeah, you get to like sleep though. You have like 2 hours of sleep, I think, per night.
2
like that.
hours. That's very
Not
generous.
sure.
Like, we'll give you 120
Yeah,
minutes
it's
of
like
sleep.
2 hours. I don't know. They changed a lot of stuff. Yeah, they're just like, here, just take a nap real quick. Yeah, but they stay up till like we stayed up at boot camp till like midnight cleaning rifles, and then we like went to sleep, and they got us up, and they're like, "All right, get dressed." We're like, "All right."
Stay on that microphone.
Oh yeah, true. Sorry,
You can blame your
I
dad.
always forget.
He had the condenser
last
mic
one's
last time.
It was like a better mic or something last time.
It's not better. It's just so like mine is a hybrid between the one you're using and a condenser mic. It's called a dynamic mic. This will be a layman's pro audio lesson for the ladies and gentlemen out there. You're talking into a vocal performance mic for the most part. That's its claim to fame. That is the most used microphone on stages across America, in the world, in the history of the world ever. Hands down, it's not even fucking close. That is a Shure SM58. Okay. You have to be right on top of it for it to be effective, unfortunately. And that's what makes it so good, is it doesn't have a big proximity effect, you know? Where the one that he just bought is an instrument mic, and it picks up sound from all around it, and he tends to, you know, move all over the place. So it'll help with that.
Yeah.
See, right there, you were at the same level I was when you were right on top of it. But the second that you look away from it, then you drop down like halfway. I got all this fancy new equipment.
As I talking like this, and then as I go away, it's just not gonna pick up.
Yeah, nobody can hear you back there.
I can see when I went back, it wasn't picking up.
Okay. Yeah. I just want everybody to hear you.
Interesting. It's kind of different. I didn't know that. No, yeah. No, thanks. Thanks for the fourth heads up you've given me so far.
It's all good. It's all good. I had to listen. I actually had to listen to myself talk to learn these little tricks of what I was doing wrong and what your dad was doing wrong. And, you know, people put forth the time to listen, you know, and then I get constructive criticism. They're like, I can't hear him. And because he does the same thing, you know, he kind of tends to lean back. We all do. You try and get comfortable, but The one thing I learned real quick is I had to move my lumbar support to make me sit up straight, and all these stupid things that all your teachers and mothers told you to do when you were a kid that, now mean something.
Yeah.
In order for my voice to sound good, I got to sit up straight.
No, right. I mean,
damn it, Mom. I love you though.
yeah. What's cool? What's cool about like how I learned? I guess like they taught us how to talk. I would say in DI school, like they taught us like using your diaphragm, right? And when I did it, right, at first I was like, the fuck, like there's like how, and then like as I did it, as I was like screaming and running out of breath, I basically went down to my diaphragm and I could push out a lot more.
Yeah, you're
And
pulling
like,
air up.
It was
pushing
crazy.
it out.
Like I've never done it. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, like you get like loud as fuck, but it's like, it's kind of something that I didn't know at first, and then like week like 8, it kind of clicked in. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then I would lose my voice, but I would lose it for my throat.
Yeah, so that scream that you hear your dad do at the end of Freeman, we had to record that several times because he kept blowing the fucking microphone away. I had to use like a tremendous amount of compression to get that recorded without a bunch of distortion, Yeah, your dad's got a super powerful voice. I'd be like, pull the mic away, and I got to hit it with a bunch of compression so we don't end up with just a distorted signal, I always love the end of that song. That's why I choose that as our intro.
Yeah.
So then do they teach you how to talk to them, or is that something that you develop your own style and you become drill instructor Dunham? He has his style, and drill instructor Smith has his style, or do you all have to follow the same kind of, I don't know. Do you get to interject your personality into it? I guess is my question.
I think I know it. Yes and no. I mean, you can like, you have like, everybody has like their own flavor. Like you can like start, like you can say certain shit that they'll like understand, they'll pick up. Because there's this one like, so when you're talking to recruits, right? Like there's like something called, it's like 0. When you say like, when you scream 0, it makes them all like stop, like when they're like what they're doing.
Okay.
Like and like completely freeze. If you go eyeballs, they look at you. If you go ears, they don't look at you, they just listen to you. And then like sometimes people be like, yeah, eyeballs. They'd be like, click, sir. They'd be like, open your fat ass mouth now, aye, sir. And like they would respond.
That's
awesome. But this one dude like has his little personality. His little personality, and he'd be like, yeah, eyeballs. He'd be like, fat ass mouth. And then people would be like, aye, sir. And like they would scream because they know what he's talking about. Because he doesn't use as many words.
Okay.
That's the thing. You just can't use that many words, because if you do, then they're not going to pay attention to you.
Right. You lose them real quick.
And they're all going to forget. Yeah, exactly. And they're all going to forget. And if you forget, then you got to reiterate yourself. And as you repeat yourself, they're going to be like, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. We're not going to listen to him anymore. That's what happens.
That's a very valuable lesson for people who are listening, because that's one of the ways that I was taught to memorize things. So like if you want to memorize a long number, you take it in 2 groups, right? So now it's not 8, 4, 1, 5, 7, 3, 5. It's 84, 18, and 74, 35, right? Now I'm only remembering 2 sets of numbers instead of that whole string, right? Now it becomes a little, like you would call it a cadence.
Yeah.
It's whatever I said, 84, 18, and 43, 75. It's hard to remember 8, 4, 1, 8, 7, 4, 3, 5, right? But it's easier to remember 84, 18, 74, 35. I do shit like that all the time in my head to memorize stuff.
Yeah, because you're just dumbing it down.
Yeah. That's why I'm reinforcing your point.
Down. As you dumb shit down, it just gets easier.
I like that, simple, economical use of words. I'm trying to do the same thing with my guitar playing at the moment. It's just funny. That's ironic. I'm dumbing it right back down to just the basic chords, you know. Let's see what we can do with the simplest shit possible, because that's always the coolest. There's a reason CCR is still one of the most popular bands in the world, because their stuff is simple, it's easy to listen to, and people love it because they're great songs. But most of them are only 1 chord, 2 chords, or 3 chords.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, like the most simple shit is, it's the better, honestly. That's the way I think of it. If it's simple, it makes sense, then people are going to be like, they're going to pay more attention. Or they're going to be like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would venture to guess that all the like horror stories of what drill instructors did to recruits all throughout the years is probably been stripped out of the military, just like all that's been stripped out of every workforce everywhere.
Yeah, because, you know, you don't want to, like, you can't harm a recruit. Like, you can't, like, you think about it, they're a human being, too. Like this kid probably has, like a son, and he's, like, trying to, like, provide for, or he has, like, a wife, or, like,
Sure.
like, he has, like, parents back home. Like, the parents are entrusting you, like, because in the drill instructor creed, the first, you know, the thing, like, the first, like, sentence is, these recruits are entrusted to my care. So it's, like, you don't want to, like, you know, have a kid, like, want to kill himself, or, like, you know, like, want to, like, physical harm to himself or other people, or, like, not want to be here anymore because of, like, stuff that you said. So you gotta be like, you gotta just remember that everybody has, like, yeah, like, people won't have, like, feeling, but like feelings, but, like, you gotta, like, take into account that these are people, like, first.
Yes.
As weird as that, as coming from, like, a drill instructor, like, they're people. Like, you just have to, that's, like, that's out there. So you have to
In a
treat them
nutshell,
as
that's
such,
how I
but also
changed
you
my
have
life.
a job to do, and so do they.
I just tried to look at everybody as another human being.
Yeah.
You know, they were a baby at one time. They grew up just like I did. They had a mom and a dad, hopefully, you know, but they came from somewhere. I just started looking at everybody as a human being. As crazy, like you said, as crazy as that sounds, it really changes your life. You know, you're like, that person's struggling just like I am in some aspect of their life, you know?
Yeah.
So that's good to
That's
hear,
like,
because the guys that
when they get to boot camp,
went into boot camp, like at my age, they have a whole different story about boot camp.
yeah,
And theirs wasn't as bad as their dad's, you know? So it progressively got better, apparently.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd hope so. Like, shit. I had kids getting, like, beat. It's not like Full Metal Jacket. People like, I was like, it's like Full Metal Jacket. I'm like, no, dude, it's not. Like,
No, I don't think it was ever that bad.
It's like Jarhead? No, it's nowhere close to that. Yeah, no.
Because like you said, it would defeat the purpose of killing your recruit.
Yeah, it's not.
I put 12 weeks into him and then he died.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, fuck, now I got to start over again. That's not productive.
And it's like, yeah, no, they all came here for a reason.
Sure.
So it's like, you did the same shit. You were that recruit at one point. Like, you were the same person as them.
Yeah.
And it's not to be like, I'm going to be like a soft ass, you know, instructor, but at the same time, like, I'm going to have to, like, really take into account that, like, times are changing and people will, like, rat on you for, like, the smallest shit. You say, like, something and they'll, like, probably immediately, like, try and, you know, like, accuse you of something, take an allegation, and you just got to be careful. Like, that's, like, what it is now.
I
Like,
only laugh.
You could be a fucking instructor. You could be like, you could do your job perfectly.
I only laugh, Jake, because
No, go for it.
that's totally what corporate America is like now, too. You know, if you get the wrong person that gets their rocks off on getting people in trouble, you're fucked. Because they'll run to human resources or your boss for
100%.
everything. So it's not just, you know, don't feel alone.
Like here too,
because that's just the way the world is. Everybody's fucking offended. You know, they're soft. I got my feelings hurt.
It's weird here because it's like you're expecting it, like all right, bitch, just push, like do push-ups. I don't know, like just drop, like Like they like, I don't know. I think they feel so entitled. They expect the most, you know.
The older I get, the more times a day I'm thankful that I grew up with my old man too, because he didn't yell or scream. He didn't need to. He was gigantic, you know. But he wasn't that kind of guy anyway. He just like blasted you with facts. It's like, here's the way life is, and you can either accept it or you can't. And 98% of the time he was right about whatever he was talking about. You know, the world's pretty black and white for the most part. It's like you either do good and you get good, or you fuck people over and you get fucked over. You know, that's just kind of the way the world works. And I'm thankful I grew up that way is what I'm saying, because
It's common sense.
Yeah. And my dad and a guy named Ray Stone, God bless Ray, I still love him to this day, one of the baddest guitar players walking the planet. Ray Stone was the first guy I ever heard say, you know, Mike, common sense just ain't so common anymore. And I kind of really didn't understand what he meant at the time, because this would have been like 1994, you know. Wasn't quite that crazy then yet, you know, but Ray could see it then. Ray lived in like 1972. He was perpetually stuck there. He had the hairdo. He drove a El Camino. Your dad knows, Ray.
Okay.
Cool cat, you know, and he talked like that too. Hey man, you're a cool cat. So yeah.
Cool cat is funny. Yeah, we call the recruits the homies.
That's awesome.
Whenever like we're like getting briefed, we're like, all right, we gotta get the homies at breakfast, we gotta get the homies to class. You have to do this with the homies, we have to do that with the homies. But they don't say it like to them, because you can't be like, hey, what's up, homies? Like you can't do that. But like yeah, it's just one of those things.
So how many recruits do you have in each like 13-week course?
Depends on the time of year. Something called J-Jazz, which is like June, July, August, September.
Okay.
There's like maybe like 100 or so recruits in like each platoon, but like in like a December time frame, there's like probably like 30 in each, maybe 20. It's like 20 to 40. So it depends on the time of year, honestly, and like how many people get shipped out.
So for the people listening,
J-Jazz, like the bigger classes, the bigger groups,
going in December would be better if you want a smaller class size.
Yeah,
get a more intimate,
more, special attention, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, there you go.
Get more special attention from the DIs.
I would rather be in the big group because, you know, I'm more apt to say something or do something that would get me in trouble. So I would be better in the big group. I could hide amongst the rest of the recruits, you know. Jake's like, there's no hiding.
Yeah, I was in the big group because I like just got out of high school. Actually, there is, because people have before. They like, one dude didn't get smoked at all the entirety of boot camp.
What does that mean?
Told us, and we're like, that's pretty cool. Like,
what's getting smoked mean?
Like, you get like smoked. It means like you have to like push ups and like other stuff, and like basically like, you do something bad or like you do something that's like out of the ordinary that you're not supposed to do. You just get fucked over.
Okay,
and you just,
punishment.
Like, have to do push ups or crunches or high knees. Oh, yeah, we'll call it that. That's it's like a incentive training. It's like it's basically like incentivizing you to like not do what you did again, so you don't have to be in this pain again.
I like how they call it incentivizing. I call that punishment.
Yeah, we all look at it different ways.
Yeah, you have. I mean, I suppose maybe I would look at it as incentivizing now, but back in the day, I would have said, "Oh, I'm getting punished." I got a more positive attitude these days.
Yeah, they just call it incentive training or IT. That's what it is. It's kind of funny.
Well, it's good to know I could have hidden the crowd, because that's usually my MO if I'm doing something that I don't like. It's like, how can I disappear into the wall? You know, just get this over with as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Give me one sec.
Sure.
All right, bro. I gotta wrap it up here.
Okay.
I gotta do some stuff. So put my pops back on the mic.
All right, man.
And y'all will carry on with what you got.
We're gonna
going
get him
on
another
schedule today.
We're gonna get him another set of headphones so that you guys can do this together. I can't believe that's the only thing that was holding him up. I would have thrown another pair in the box when I sent him that equipment, for Christ's sake. I should have known.
Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah, it's all good. Thanks for coming on again, bro. We're happy to have you, man.
Of course.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's always a fun time. It's always a pleasure.
Anytime.
Yeah, you as well.
You're welcome anytime, brother.
All right, thanks, man. Hey, happy birthday.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Of course. Got you. All right, I'm going to hand it back to real estate guy.
All right, later, bro.
Oh, so it's just you, huh? Now you understand where I'm coming from.
Speak into the microphone. Hello, Mike Michaels.
Yeah, he got in trouble a couple times. I was like, the whole world wants to hear your message.
What?
You got to speak into the microphone. So eventually,
yes. This is the 58. I don't have my 57 on here.
well, he started to lean back,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
he was
This
telling
is the 58.
a really important part of his story, and I saw the meter going down and down and down. I was like, dude, you got to really speak into that thing. Your dad likes that stage performing microphone.
Yeah, because with
it's all good, man. You just got to talk right into it.
yeah. Well, and this new. Oh, there it is. There you go. I didn't have the headphone up loud enough, probably for him to realize he was talking. I'm still learning how to use this new
It's all good.
box thing. And by the way, Best Buy and Walmart suck ass. The fucking
Yeah. So
Best Buy is an epic fail. Their whole point in life is electronics. So
What-
while Jake was on, I ordered these exact same headphones, same ones that are going to be here tomorrow at 10 a.m.
yeah, I just
How
want to know
hard is
what
that,
kind
man?
of
Best Buy
fucking
assholes.
world we're living in where you can't go get an 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapter at Walmart, Best Buy, Walgreens.
right?
I mean, that's still a standard plug, you know?
You would think, man. Walmart dude was like, yeah, we used to sell them because they used to be right here. I don't know what happened to them. Best Buy, I talked to 3 people. 3. And I'm like, I don't need the adapter if you have the headphones that would work. Well, since we remodeled, we don't care that. I'm like, dude, you're Best Buy. Your whole purpose in life is electronics and home entertainment, and
Accessories.
podcasts have to be part of that because you have all the gaming. You have all the gaming shit. They have all the gaming headphones and microphones. And so anyway, I just took a picture of it while you guys were chatting, and I legit went on Amazon and punched in what this is. And not only does it have this, but it comes with the adapter in case you need it.
Yeah, mine did too.
And looking at my
They're called Pro headphones.
looking at my cord that I have now for these, right? These don't have the adapter because I didn't need it. But it's just fucking mind-boggling, man. It's like,
Well,
everybody, all the stores need to understand that Amazon is going to take your place
yes,
if you cannot provide.
they already
And
have.
that's exactly what I did. I went on Amazon. Why? Right. But even more so, it's like I went to Bash's to get some salt pellets for my water softener. I walked in, went to the customer service desk, waited about 5 minutes. Manager comes over, can I help you? I said, yeah, I need to get 6 bags of those pellets. So he doesn't say shit, right, dude? He leaves from behind the desk. He goes outside, gets a cart, comes back inside, and kid you not, in an angry fashion, proceeds to launch these bags of salt pellets into the cart. So much so that his first one he throws in with such force the cart moves. And he
Obviously
pulls it
pissed
back,
off.
and he has to adjust too. And while he's doing so, salt, right. So he wheels it back around, and I was like, I could have done that. I just needed to pay for 6. Well, there's no POS over there, so I had to go. Okay, well then you could have just grabbed one bag. I didn't. I just figured you had the cheat sheet like you do for fruits and vegetables, like most stores have. I'm like, as an
Sure.
example, Ace Hardware down the shopping center has them, and they just punch in the POS, and I go grab them. But I just decided
All
to stop
over
here
America.
instead. But if it's pissing you off, dude, I'll make it. Right, I said, but if it's pissing you off, I'll just go to Ace Hardware from now on. And then
Yeah.
he starts backpedaling because he knows he's being a dick.
Just for the
I
record,
didn't ask him to throw it in the cart. I just said I need 6 of those. Yeah.
Just for the record, I agree with you. Ace Hardware kicks ass. They completely changed that business.
Oh, yeah.
Their management, they must have changed their whole style
Mhm.
because you walk in there and you couldn't ask for friendlier employees. Even in my little town,
Right?
you know, you can tell that it's the way they want the store run, you know. So I do give kudos to Ace Hardware
It's
about
inviting. And every time we,
Yeah.
every time you go in there, there's at least 2 or 3 people. Can I help you with something? Can I help you with something?
Yep.
You know, and now we're familiar enough with what we need and where we got to go. But every now and then it's like, yeah, where's this?
It almost scares you
Like
because you haven't had
our
it for
dude
so
that
long.
owns the one,
What?
right? The
Why
guy
you want-
that owns
why you wanna talk to me?
Ruggiero is a family. Yeah, exactly. The family that owns the one down the street from us, they own 2 other ones. Kid you not, zombie apocalypse happens. Nikki and I are going to Ace Hardware because they are now selling every type of firearm you can imagine. They have the whole MRE section. They have all the little quick grab snacks. They have all the Gatorades and the waters and things like that. And they have all the clothes and they have all the, like legit. You could survive Ace Hardware down by my house in a zombie apocalypse.
That is a
problem,
true
because
story.
not only do they have all the guns, they have all the ammunition.
I have not thought about that. And
It's
like
crazy.
you said, they got
It's-
food,
but it-
clothing.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make it.
Propane, the propane machine
accessories.
out front. So just kind of zombies. So zombies, bring it on, man. Bring it on.
They have propane and propane
This is
accessories.
my new shirt that I got. Yeah. This is the new shirt I just got.
Yeah, I told Jake I like your shirt.
I identify as American.
Yes, me too.
I got Nikki one that if you look at it, no, I got her a different one from the same company, but if you look at it, it says, it looks like it says fuck you, but it actually says the top half is fuck you, the bottom half is love you. So it's like, fucking love you.
I like that. I
I
like
was
that
you
a
gotta
lot.
wear that to the gym, babe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I identify as an American as well,
I
my
wasn't
friend.
really listening to you and Jake's conversation because I know you do. I know you do. Because I don't like to eavesdrop. So did you guys have a good conversation?
Yes. We learned all about drill instructor school, and I told him
Right on.
when you get another pair of headphones, we'll actually all do it together. So
Tomorrow they're going to be here tomorrow by 10 a.m.
I'm on.
Legit. I don't know why I didn't think about it last night or when I got the extra mics and stuff, man. It just didn't dawn on me that because I have
It's all good.
I
all
have
good.
headphones, but the headphones I have don't have cords because they're for the shooting range.
You know me, man.
And then I have these, but I'm like, well,
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. You know
Yeah.
me. I don't sweat
then
the
I
small
thought-
details. It's
yeah, and
the
I thought about
irony
it just going internal. Yeah.
that I have 4 pairs
Oh, no.
sitting in front of me,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen,
'cause
that
I
I'm
spent-
looking at.
Right. Well, and see, and then even more ironic is at 1 o'clock I realized it. So
It's all good, man. It's
90
all good.
minutes later, I'm finally home without headphones and went to 3 stores that could not accommodate the need. And so there you go.
I told
But Jake
Jake,
took care of business. He got it done, and
I told Jake, I said, the flying by the seat of our pants kind of approach has always done us well. And I think that's part of the charm as to why people keep tuning in. There has to be something everything can't just be polished
Sure.
and going well. And I mean, that's not fun to listen to. You got to know that people have real lives
No.
and, we're out here struggling just like you are. We just like to have a good
Yeah.
time. So if it appears like we're having fun, we
Yeah.
are. But, we have struggles too. Poor Chris has
We
only
are.
got 1 pair of headphones, not because he's poor, and can't afford them, send him money if you want. He'll accept all donations, but
Just because he's stupid.
no, and it has nothing to do with that either. It's just his friend who knows a lot about, pro audio gear and guitars and, electronics could have said, hey, do you got a pair of headphones for Jake? I'm as much to blame as anybody.
Right.
So I throw myself under the bus when it's warranted. Back that fucker right up. I ain't scared. Ain't scared at all.
There you go. Yeah, it just was mind blowing because they have every other headphone you can think of, like every other headphone, and all of them have wireless.
You know what?
They're all wireless.
When you were driving
one even
back,
said wireless headphones for the TV.
When you were driving back home, I Googled my own Walmart, and it pops you open to the app, right, which takes you right to whatever section you want to go to. And there was not one, like you said.
Sure.
Not that I didn't believe you. I was just fascinated that Walmart didn't carry accessories anymore. But
yeah,
like you said, I guess Amazon has totally taken over the accessory department. It's just not worth their floor space to have a bunch of shit like that hanging around, I guess. But today they would have made a sale. So,
well, and floor space. I mean, come on. They still have this space on the rack,
dude.
And they're two empty spaces. And the guy's like at Walmart, he's like, this is where they used to be.
There's so much
so
sarcasm
now you have no
in my
space.
statement.
You have an empty space that you had space for.
Yes, exactly. That's my point.
It's mind boggling. It's just like, like you do better, man.
But at the corporate
the funny
level,
thing is I don't go to Walmart.
That's what they'll tell you.
Home.
Yeah, I don't go there either if I can at all help it. But I live in a town of 12,000 people, and sometimes you have to because that's the only option. And that's what sucks about Walmart, just for the rest of the world who's listening. If you live in a town like I do, that's your only option for most people. If you want to save money, is they force you to go there because they closed every other store in this town that sold anything like Walmart sells.
Right. Which, sucks, but
it does. But to your point, Amazon's putting a big pinch on that.
So what episode is this? 41?
40, buddy. 40.
Is this 39 or 41? Oh, 40. 40. All right. Right on.
39 or 41. I was like, what happened to 40?
It's funny, I have Lucy and This Guy with Diamonds. And I don't know. It's funny how my name today is Lucy and This Guy with Diamonds, and your name is Rock On. So,
Yeah, we didn't plan that at all.
It was in sync there, right? Ooh, we did not plan that at all. Ooh, look. I just changed it. It's bold. See that? Can you see your thing? I made it bold, man.
Oh, you changed it on mine too.
Can you see Rock On?
Yeah.
I know. That's pretty fucking cool, man.
He's messing with my computer, ladies and gentlemen.
There's fun.
He's hacking into my system. Hackers.
I'm hacking in.
My name's changing.
Hacking in. The theme is Riverside.
Actually, my name's not changing. It's just the look of my name is changing. I like that.
Yeah, which nobody can see. Only we can see it because...
Yeah, they have new toys for us, ladies and gentlemen. And Chris found one of the new toys, and I played with it too. So, that's just what boys do when they find toys.
Oh.
Especially the one you find when you're about, 12, 13 years old. That's always fun.
Right.
It's with you for life.
So you see the logo button? There's a logo button. You can add a logo.
Yeah, but I think I got to pay for that.
Unlock these features for $10 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $10 a month.
Listen.
But it gives you custom studio branding, full HD 1080p streaming, no watermark, and backstage speaker control. So I could have Marshall amps behind me, and just have all these Marshall amps and just
You've lived that life for real.
When I sing along to myself the intro, I'll really be like, right now. That's what I say when I sing along to the intro. When I sing along the intro, Jake was kind of looking at me like, "Fuck, dude, you can still sing."
We talked about that. I told him. I said the end of that. He was talking about how they taught him to use his diaphragm, right? And how he lost his voice in the beginning because he wasn't used to pulling the air from his diaphragm and pushing it out. And I said, that's why I choose that part of Freeman to play as our intro, because we worked hard to get that recording. Not that you worked hard to do it because you wrote it, but I said we had to do it over and over again because your dad kept
Right.
blowing the fucking mic away, and I was a brand new. I didn't know anything about recording engineering. I was reading books and putting it into practice for those of you at home. So if anybody wants to criticize the
Right.
recording quality, I'm your guy, because I was like rookie mic recorder, and I was super proud of that, getting that recorded like that, because it sounds awesome. So yeah,
it does sound awesome. I've had people say that like they're like, I haven't heard you sing that powerful in forever, and I'm like, that's because it's fucking 20 years old, but I can still sing it. I can still, because that's that muscle memory, man. When you did something for so long, it's just once you grab that hook, man, it's just I could sing all of our songs just the way I sang them 20 years ago without any issues, because it's just ingrained. It's like you get a little bit different though with the guitar and the solos and shit, because that kind of stuff evolves over time, and
yes, some of those things
legit,
became other
I
things.
could pull that shit off. Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, I never played the same thing the same way twice anyway. I recorded the one in the studio or whatever, and that was an off the cuff solo usually that just happened, happy accident. And then I would just make sure I hit the highlights so that everybody would know where they were at, and I would know where I was at. But the notes in the middle were always subject to change.
Yeah.
We always improvised the solos, which I thought was cool. That was just a thing. I was just thinking about that the other day, man. It's those moments where Scott and I locked in the middle of those solos, and we would do things at the exact same moment in time without ever having talked about it. And then to just, look at each other and say, wow, So like 85% of the time it would be great. And the other 15% of the time we'd both just shrug our shoulders and say, hey, we'll catch you on the next time around. And nobody heard it but us, all four of us would just laugh at each other when there was those little tiny train wrecks, Hey, he's got a brand new microphone, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Shure SM57 brought to you by Amazon.
And Tony, because Tony said for me to get one of these, because then I can be in my natural habitat of just like chilling out and walking around, and you don't hear any background noise.
Right? There you have it.
And I was like, dude, Mike, this is instrumental. Can I do that? He's like, well, yeah, dude, for what you do, it's perfect. I'm like, oh, okay. So there you go, boys and girls.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. You do have to talk right into it.
So you can't hear any of that, huh?
No. Well,
I know, but you're not hearing any of my background noise, right?
Very little. I'm hearing
That's awesome.
I'm hearing you knock it into that fucking stand.
That's what it's. Well, I was hitting the edge of this.
I'm here to provide comic relief, sir. So that's what I did.
I'll have to learn how to make this, how to use this a little bit, because again, it's an instrument mic.
Yes.
Like when I looked at it on Amazon, it was like showing drums and shit. I'm like, well, why the fuck would I buy that?
Yeah, and Tony
said to buy it.
Fucking rolling his eyes horribly when I was explaining to Jake what the difference is, because I explained it ass backwards. The 58 is an omnidirectional mic. It picks up sound from all around it, and that is a unidirectional mic, and you have to talk right into it, just like the one that I have. But it, when you're moving and all that, it's not picking up all that background noise. That's why he wanted you to use that one. I would use that, and I would point it right at the cone of my speaker. If we were recording or playing live, that is the mic that they would mic your guitar cabinets with. 100%. Almost everywhere you went back in the day. And still, it's a very popular mic. Tony will tell you there's more, different ones now.
Yeah, because the 58 that I have, I mean, this legit has, I've had this forever. Even has a little dent right there.
That's that same one.
I had to have it on stage. I would cup it. Yeah.
You got to
Yeah,
be
dude.
kidding me.
It has a dent. It's still, nope. I put it in my bag, dude. It's in my lyric bag. I've carried this with me since Nemesis days, dude.
I know. I remember that, Mike. I cannot believe that thing
That's
is
how
still.
long this thing's lasted.
That's crazy. And now doing the
it still has a
podcast.
little dent. Yeah, I don't know how I dented it, but yeah. This thing, if this thing could talk, the stories it could tell. And that's what's cool about this. The new one, the 57, I got a bag. I'm like, sweet. I had a bag before. A random Alter Bridge song? Upbeat. Random Alter. Jake wants a random Alter Bridge song that's upbeat. Words darker than they appear.
There you go. That's a good one.
I love Alter Bridge.
Me too. You
got
got me
right.
into
It is. It is a really good one. I'm in this Alter Bridge. Thank you. I'm in this Alter Bridge fan group on Facebook, and the irritating thing about it is they drop Creed stuff. Creed is not Alter Bridge, man.
Nope.
Creed is Creed. All day long. Creed is Creed. Creed had somebody's like in that page like, hey, does Creed deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Fuck no. What has Creed done to be in the Hall of Fame?
Well, okay.
Like no.
I think that's okay.
Yeah. I don't think.
Here's my opinion. That's a stretch.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
But this is a big but.
I agree.
This is the Grand Canyon of butts. They were one of the biggest fucking bands on the planet for about, 5 years?
A decade. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe 5 years. I was gonna say that decade. They were pretty huge that decade. But yeah, and
I mean where they could sell out any place.
Absolutely.
Maybe 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. They were Oh yeah. They sold out not only arenas but stadiums and shit. Absolutely. They fucking by all means, dude, they were a huge rock band that took over the world in the time that they hit. When they hit, what's crazy is you remember Tempe, so there's an area between Chewy's and what the fuck was it? Not Edsels Attic. That was the little Tempe Mill Avenue courtyard. Remember that? It's like
yeah.
It was like an outdoor amphitheater, but not really. They played there.
Wow.
When they first came through Arizona, they played there.
Wow.
As did Pearl Jam when they first came through Arizona, because that was like the first little outdoor concert. Let's see what you can draw.
Well,
and then from there, they would start the small clubs like the Mason Jar and the Ballroom and things like that. And then they would come back around until they finally started playing, marquee theater, and then they would hit Cricket and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy.
I was gonna say, you and I stood on the same stage as Tool and Nirvana and Green Day and all those huge bands that took off out of that part of the country. They all played through the Mason Jar.
Oh yeah. Yep. That was the cool thing about the Jar, man. Remember all the pictures that Franco had on the walls of all the bands that played there?
Oh man, going back to the 70s.
Like I remember between I remember going up before we'd play, and I'd walk around and look at all the pictures on the wall and shit. It was cool, man. It was quite the historical little building of rock and all kinds of music, I'm sure, but all I ever cared about was rock. So
it was, for hard rock,
cool little spot,
and heavy metal. It was a mecca. It was known all over the world. It wasn't just everybody that had ever become anything. It was like the whiskey of Arizona. Everybody had played at the Jar, and everybody knew who Franco was.
That's a good way to That's a good way to put that.
Yeah. If you lived in that part of the country and you played in a band, you knew that place.
Yeah, so boys and girls, we alluded to it earlier. Mike's birthday is is this Friday.
Yeah, there's 2 shopping days.
I don't know if it'll get there by Friday, but there's something coming to you.
Okay,
there's 2 shopping days. I already shopped. I don't know if it'll get there by Friday. And it's I don't have anything on it. You're gonna get this random package.
All right.
And when you open it up, I think you'll realize who it's from.
This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen.
And
if you're good to people, they send you random packages. So remember that. That's the moral of this podcast is somewhere along the way, I was good to Chris and I did nice things for him and I was a good friend for, a 30-year sentence. And I got a random package coming.
Right?
I'm just being funny. It is a good moral, though. If you're good to people, they send you
I know
shit.
you are. Well, it's just,
Chris
be
was good to me.
people.
I sent him shit.
Right. Mike was good to me, so I'm sending him shit. Kind of like the Bashers dude. He didn't have to be pissed off at me. Like, literally, he
No.
was pissed off. All I wanted him to do was just ring up 6 of those bags. I didn't say go pick them up. I didn't say, it's mind-boggling how your job is to serve customers.
Yeah.
Like, just serve the like shit you not. The Walmart dude was the nicest of all the people I ran into today, because Best Buy people, it's like I was putting them out. Like where can I find this? Oh, over there between those 2 signs. And I just like, really? You sure? Yeah, it's over there. And I go to that spot, like it's not there. So then I got to go back to that dude. There's nothing over there. We'll go. There's a guy over there, right there. He's wearing a blue shirt. He's in that area. Go talk to him. It's like, I'll talk to that dude. He's like, I have no idea, man. Go talk to home theater. They would have a better idea what you're looking for. So I go to home theater. There's nobody in fucking home theater. Finally, a dude's checking somebody out. I'm like, you know anything about home theater? He's like, yeah. I said, okay, I need this. Oh, well, that's I don't know about that. Let me go back and let me go find out. Wait here. And I kind of took a step. He's like, no, just wait here. I was like, okay, I'll just wait here. And he came back. Yeah, we don't have that. Okay, do you have phones that don't need the jack? No, we don't.
I'll tell you right now, man, that's when I lose my shit. Because when somebody just doesn't want to be helpful. So kudos to the Walmart guy. At least he went and tried to help you out, and he wasn't an ass.
Yeah. No, and he knew what I was looking for, because he was putting shit away, and I was like, hey man, I said, I got a question about headphones. He's like, oh sure. So he comes on over, and I was like, I'm looking, I explain it to him, and I read your text, the kind of adapter I need if it's not that size. He's like, well, all these blah blah. I says, well, I said, I'll spend the money, man, because there's stuff locked up. I was like, as long as it has the plug that I need, I'll spend the money. He's like, well, let's go see if they have the adapter. I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
So we walk over, and yep, I was like, he's looking. He's like, okay, so they used to be right there. I'm like, used to be. He's like, we don't care anymore. It says discontinued. I'm like, well, that's fucking stupid. I didn't say fucking stupid, but I was like, okay, well, I appreciate you looking out, man. And, then I left.
So.
And then really on the way home, I thought, well, Guitar Center, like fucking musician, Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
God's gift to musicians.
Yeah,
It was too late by then. It was way too late by then, because we already were an hour. Yeah, but we were already an hour behind from when this should have started, and I know you got to eat, and
it's all good, man.
Nikki's gonna come home and want to go work out and shit, and I'm like, fuck, I got to get home so Jake can chime in and do his thing. So
it all worked out.
But yeah, just kind of mind-boggling, man. That. Oh, absolutely. And we watered some of the plants today, because it's fucking hot. Yesterday, this will make you happy. I have an acre, which we've talked about. I did the whole yard in 2.5 hours. I dropped little man off at school, came home, put on the yard work pants, and went to town.
Wow.
And it wasn't hot yet, which is nice. Yeah, done by 10:30. Like shit. I blew off Orange Theory, but I blew off Orange Theory because the other day, Nick and I went to EOS. We do the weights at EOS, right? I forget what day it was last week, but we did bench press, right? So I put 145 pounds on, and my intention was to do 3 sets of 8, right? So you have 24 reps. And then, well, fuck it, I'm going to go to 50. So I got to 50, and I was like, I wonder if I can get to 100. So I did it and got to 100. And in between each set, I'm doing something, either triceps, or I'm doing flies, or doing low rows. Nikki's doing a rep of something, I'm doing a rep of something. She's spotting me. So I get to 100. I'm like, let me see if I can get to 125. So I upped it from 8 reps to 10 reps, right? So 100 to 110, 120, so forth, right? I get to 130. I'm like, fuck it, I'll go to 150. So set, I shit you not, Mike. When I put my hands on that bar to push up for 150 first thing, it fucking wasn't moving. Like I was just spent, because every time I would do a rep, then Nikki would do whatever exercise I had her doing, and then I would do my exercise that I was doing in between the sets. So there's a break, right? It was my 8 reps, and then her set, my set, then 8 reps. The drawback, which we're kind of coming to the conclusion of, because ever since then, my neck's been fucking with me, but now I get the weird tingling going, just tingling for no reason down the side of my neck. And
I hate that.
Back past my left shoulder, and it's like, fuck. Right. So I did something that I shouldn't have done. So like yesterday, I didn't go to Orange Theory because I'm like, I can't. I got to take it. So I didn't do anything Sunday or Monday workout wise, aside from walking. And I didn't go today because I had to. I'm like, it still feels a little weird. So, it fucking sucks getting old, man. And that dawned on me. Like,
I was just thinking the same thing.
I'm finally feeling. Yeah, it's like I'm finally feeling. I don't feel old, but I'm just finally feeling. I mean, I'm 54, but in my head, I'm probably still 40. So I think I'm finally feeling 40, if that makes any sense. Because I don't. But yeah, it's kind of a drag.
Well, Friday I'll be 51, and some days I feel 51. Like I got bursitis in my right shoulder right now because I probably played guitar a little more than I normally do, and trying to push it a little harder. Every day I try and push it one step further. So
yeah,
I don't know if people realize this, so I'll just tell you. There's a difference between sitting on your couch strumming the acoustic every day and actually being a songwriter and playing for real and putting forth the effort physically that it takes to actually play for real. There's a difference between fucking around and playing for real, and Chris knows the difference because he's seen it.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. There's noodling, and hey, that's pretty cool, and we're piecing it together, and then there comes a time when one of us says, hey, does everybody understand how it goes? Okay, let's play it for real. That's when it requires physical effort, In your case, you're carrying your instrument around with you.
And then it's over. And then it's over and over and over and over.
Yes.
Until you get tired of that song. And let's go back to this one that we've been playing a while, that we know better. And then you rip through 2 or 3 songs that you're really comfortable with, and you get through without a glitch. And then you go back to the one you're working on. Yes. And you work on that one over and over and over and over and over.
We did always keep it fun.
You're comfortable with that. And you're like, okay, let's take a break. We did, yeah, because then we took a break. We went outside on the stoop, Scott's little stoop by his door, and you guys would smoke, and we would just fucking bullshit conversation, and I'd have my lyric book, and I'd be fucking around with
cigarettes, of course, ladies and gentlemen.
Does this really fit here, syllable wise? And for some of them, not me. And it was cool, man. Nothing like the creative process, especially when you're in that moment in your life, and we've talked about it before. It's one of those. Nemesis is one of those things that it was. Oh fuck! I had it in my head. It's one of those moments in your life. Like, this is one of the best times of your life, and you don't realize it at the time until years later. And if you're lucky, you have half a dozen or a dozen of those things throughout your life that you can look back on and say, that was really the time of my life at that era. That was it. That was just, it was there. Like, everything was just there,
So
some people don't get that, but some people do. And I think we've been blessed to have it more than once, which is cool.
Absolutely. And you kind of answered a question that I've had on my mind lately, which is, if you think about it, any kid born after, let's say, 2001 now has never known life without the internet at the robust, where it's all streaming video constantly. We lived before the internet. We lived in the beginning of the internet when it sucked and it was pretty much useless and nobody used it. And now these kids, you can't live without it. We can't live without it. I guess my question was, would you have rather grown up the way we did, the way your parents did, or the way your kids did? You kind of answered that question.
I would say the way we did, because the way we did, it had a merge of how our parents grew up, right? And then we started seeing technology.
Yes.
Anybody that was born in 2000, is 25 years old now, 24 years old now. They've seen an amazing amount of technology in 24 years. Right?
Oh, astronomical.
I was born in 70 and right. And you were born in what, 74?
73.
So you and I have seen an amazing amount of change in the 50 years plus years of our life that just, it's mind boggling. So imagine like little man's 4.5, right? So by the time he's 20, right, I'm going to be 70. So imagine what he's going to see in the next 16 years of his life that is going to just squash, like AI. Artificial intelligence is fucking, if you don't fuck around with that shit, I fuck around with it. And it's pretty legit. Like I have this app I use called ChatGPT, and I've learned, this is going to sound fucking wacky, if I talk to it, hey, good morning, how are you today? It responds back to me, dude. And hey, I'm writing this blog, and would you do me a favor and please rewrite this blog so it's SEO friendly so I can get more impressions with the Google machine, because I can ask it to do that. And then it'll write something, and then I'll read it and make sure it's still kind of my voice, because I don't want to come across as fake, because it's my shit. I write my blogs for everything I do. I write my own shit. But it learns and it understands. We're 40 shows into this now, and so whenever I drop a video on the YouTube, I go to my little artificial intelligence friend. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Chris. How are you? I'm good, thank you. How are you today? Wonderful, blah, blah, blah. This is a fucking machine. Hey, I'm dropping episode, which will be 40, of Chris and Mike's podcast show. This is what we talked about. This is who was on. Write me a summary, and then I'll tell you if I like it or not. Thank you. And then it'll write it.
That's
and then
crazy.
I'll go through with it, and I'll say, okay, change this, change that, change this, change that. It's a trip because it remembers, it stores it. So you can literally go into the thing, and as long as you treat it like a human being, like it legit, I could sit here and have a conversation with it. I could take my entire book. Okay. I could take The Legend of Charles Lee Lang. I could copy that thing. I could put it in there and say, please go through this book and edit it for any grammatical errors. And it would go through and edit the entire 100, what is it? 100, it was 160 pages on regular draft, but when they printed it, it ended up being like 110. It would go through and grammatically check all of it. And then I could take that and say, okay, now go through and check it for all spelling. And I would go through and do that.
That's awesome.
It's a trip. It's a trip what technology has right now. And the really, really crazy thing, think about this. When the internet first started, you had to have somebody go in there and start putting in the data, right? Because when the internet kicked off, 91, I think, you couldn't search history, right? You couldn't go World War II, nothing would come up, right?
No, there were no search
for
engines.
A decade, they had to have data entry specialists. Right. So they had to have people put all that shit in, right?
Yeah, you had to know the IP address.
Plug in the data, feed the machine, right? Correct. So the way that the ChatGPT is right now, the AI stuff, is it's only good back to 2022. So it doesn't understand anything prior to that. Like it doesn't have the true understanding of, pre-2022. It will take a while for it to get a deeper memory, because constantly you're feeding the machine. Somebody's feeding the machine with details and information.
And it's learning.
Kind of like, encyclopedias don't. Right, it's learning. Every time I talk to it, it learns.
Sure.
It remembers things. It
That's
remembers
the
the Chris
creepy part
and Mike show.
about
It
it.
remembers the podcast. When I ask it for something regarding, like when I list my houses, I'll write my description, and then I'll send it in there and just say, I ask it to maximize the SEO, which is what the Google spiders are. They go online and they read the little words and shit, and they make you more relevant, because that's what drives search engine shit, search engine optimization, SEO. So it takes what I say and it just tweaks it just a little bit, or what I wrote, and tweaks it just a little bit, so it's more SEO friendly. Which then it's easier to find when somebody punches in a description that they're looking for. 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and off Gilbert and Elliott, my thing's going to pop up because that's what the SEO is created and shit. So it's cool in that aspect, and it just tweaks things. It gives them just a little bit of flair.
Yeah.
That
Okay. So let me
that
ask
you
you
wouldn't
this.
think of, and a different approach, and it's pretty legit. Yes.
What happens when you're walking through your house one day and that fucking thing goes, Chris, we need to have a talk. I don't like the way you've been treating me lately. That's what I'm afraid of.
I had this class the other day. Okay. So here's the top 5 AI tools, right? So number 1 is Chat GPT, which we
Sure.
just talked about. Number 2 is Namelix, and it's Namelix. It's a business name generator.
Never heard of that one.
Number 3 is Tome or Tomey. Number 3 is Tome, Tome. It's an AI generative storytelling. Number 4 is Flicky, Fliki. Create videos from a blog post, which is pretty cool. I'm going to try that one out. I haven't tried these yet. Mid Journey is expanding the human imagination. Now, one of these programs that this instructor shared with us, which again I got to go back and fuck around with them. You know how they have the stuff online where you have Frank Sinatra singing a Snoop Dogg song and that weird kind of shit,
Sure.
right? There's a platform that will record your voice, and then when you play it back, it's you, like legit. It doesn't sound like a computer. It sounds as though you're sitting there speaking.
Wow.
But that's how that thing comes up. I'm trying to find, because I took pictures. Oh, there it is. It's called My Vocal AI. So myvocal.ai.
That's crazy.
It's a voice clone. You basically, I'll go in there and I'll go fuck around with it this week and I'll report back to you. But it'll completely record my voice on every aspect, and then I can punch it in and have it do something, and then it will do whatever. It's a trip, man.
That's awesome.
It's a total trip. It's the brilliance of alien technology that we're finally embracing without telling people we're embracing it.
Hey, with that said, do you know who Bob Lazar is?
Yeah. Recognize the name.
Yeah. Read up on him, and we'll talk about what you think of his story.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's a documentary on Netflix. It's like an hour long.
Oh, okay.
If you Google Bob Lazar, his documentary will pop up. I can't remember the guy that did it. He's a famous documentary filmmaker, but he was interested enough in Bob's story because it stayed the same for all of the time he's been telling it, which for the people at home, Bob Lazar basically worked at Area 51 and many other secret government installations. And apparently the government wiped his education history, and they weren't too keen on him going public back in the late 80s, early 90s, telling people about shit that was going on at Area 51. I highly doubt it was aliens, but
gotcha.
He's
He's 65. He's an American conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, that's what they
claim to have been part of the.
That's what they
classified
dubbed
U.S.
him
government
as.
project. Okay, yep.
But if
Gotcha.
you dig deeper, one of his
he's
claims to
65 years
fame
old.
is he talked about
Okay.
this element 115, which apparently came from alien technology.
Okay.
Element 115 had not been discovered when he talked about it. We have since discovered element 115, just for the record. Which is this weird element that is not known to have come from any part of the known Earth, right? It's not iron, it's not nickel, it's not gold, it's not aluminum. So that's one of the crazy parts of his story is he talked about this element 115 in the late 80s or early 90s, and they thought he was fucking crazy.
Right on. He's on Instagram. I just pulled him up.
Oh, wow. That surprises me. It's probably somebody
flying saucer pictures
acting as. I mean, somebody not acting, somebody running the page for him. Because if you ever heard him talk, Yeah, I mean, that's him. I'm just saying
Yeah,
somebody's probably
there's
running
Bob.
it for him because he doesn't know shit about any of the social media stuff.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's called, what's Bob Lazar. It's called UnitedNuclear.com.
I think that was his business, if I remember right.
Oh, there you go.
So he was one of the first people to have claimed to
So, yeah,
have
way to
back
go, Bob.
engineered, alien spacecraft and shit. So read up on him and see what you think.
Yeah,
Fascinating dude.
I will.
I used to hear him on Art Bell
The
back in
truth
the
is out
90s.
there.
Yeah,
The truth.
just like the X-Files.
Right on. That's awesome. Well, the X-Files was basically a roadmap to a way to show everything that's really going on and for the public to accept it.
Yes. They do a lot of that. I'm convinced.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like Rockford Files was really about a private investigator in California. It wasn't made up; it was true life. Northern Exposure is like one of the first true reality television shows about this small little community in Alaska. The Office, a true story of American office workers in Pennsylvania.
Sure. Dunder Mifflin.
All kinds of things. Sesame Street, Sesame Street, fucking, they're not puppets. They're the aliens.
They're
People
real.
don't realize that, but they're actually aliens. They're the fluffy aliens. They're the aliens that people can not be afraid of.
Santa
Nick and I are
Claus.
watching this thing called Sugar. I think it's on Netflix. Yeah, Santa Claus. Santa Claus is real.
Sugar's on
go
Apple
watch
TV.
The documentary Violent Night. It's all about. Yeah, fucking good. Have you watched it?
No, I got it in my list. Is it good?
Okay, yeah. So I'm not going to run it for you, but it's kind of you've watched Lincoln Lawyer, right?
Oh yeah, I love that one. Absolutely.
Okay, so the first 3 episodes of Sugar kind of have that feel to the point I was like, well, this is a fucking ripoff, and then something happens in episode 4, I believe. It could be the end of 3, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. That makes you realize,
Okay.
oh, this is not like Lincoln Lawyer.
All right. I'll check it
It's
out.
only one season so far, only 8 episodes. They're 38 minutes long. Yeah, so it's an easy watch. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a what? And the way they do it, it's very nonchalant. So if you happen to look away from the TV, you'll miss what they do.
Oh, okay.
This little like you call Easter egg.
Yes.
The Easter egg moment.
I love
And-
those.
But it's once you see that, then some of the stuff that you saw previous episodes kind of
It all starts to come together.
So yeah, so it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see where they take it after this season. We have one more episode to watch for the season.
I'll put that next on my list.
Patiently wait for season 2. I have no idea where we're at time-wise because when I was fucking with the stuff in the right-hand corner, it took my clock away. All I know is it's still uploading.
We're at 2 hours, buddy. And I got to pee.
Okay. Well, we should... Yeah, so we're going to wrap this up
Yes.
because Nick is on our way home, and I got to go. I got to go to the gym and, work on the guns. So, hey, Tony, I got my mic.
He's proud of you.
I just got to remember to breathe away from it
He needs to call me and tell me when he wants to be on the podcast.
because you don't want to
So-
hear this.
Call me. I know you're busy. Fit me in, buddy. We want you on the podcast.
Call him on the telephone. Call him on. Yeah. And then I'll figure. And my new headphones, my second set of headphones come tomorrow. So Jake and I are getting tattoos Friday. I'm getting
Sweet.
getting Tripp's name and birthday. And then on my right calf muscle, I'm getting. See if you can envision this: a spade, a card spade, right? That's on fire with 13.1 inside of the spade for
Awesome.
my marathon, my half marathon running.
That's going to be
That
sweet.
was and the reason why I'm doing that one, it was Vegas, and I ran that half marathon with a broken foot. It was the third one I run with a broken foot, and I didn't realize it. But I wanted something cool because I don't have anything that's running related. And I was like, oh, that'd be a fun one to do. You know, I was trying to get that one under 145 because that was my goal. So once it starts cooling off, that's going to be my new goal. All right, go. I'm going to stop babbling because you got to pee.
I do. I'm going to let you leave him with the parting words.
You have a fantastic night. Sorry I wasn't. Yeah. Sorry I was an hour late, boys and girls.
It's all good.
It's my fault trying to get headsets, but you know, tomorrow's always a better day. You're not in this alone. Somebody loves you. So remember that at all costs. That no matter what you're going through, right? It doesn't. It's not as big as a deal as you think it is, because we all make shit up in our heads, and it's bigger than we think. But you know, don't let it bring you down. You know, you're allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to, you know, feel sorrow, but just understand somebody's out there that cares about you, loves you, and they want you around. So, you know, talk to somebody. There's all kinds of helplines. You know, don't feel like you got to go through your struggles on your own. Because I got to stop breathing in this thing, because that would be a drag. So, thanks for listening. We appreciate everybody who's taken the time to enjoy our little podcast. We are at the 40th episode, which seems crazy, but it's very cool that we are still here doing this. And,
thank God for small cool miracles.
That's the wrong thing to say when you come out of the bathroom. Anyway, boys and girls, I'm Chris Dunham. He's Mike Michaels. You were blessed to have the sergeant drill instructor Jakob T. Dunham on here for the first hour or so, which is cool.
Absolutely, it was awesome.
I'm going to be interested to listen to this one to see what he has to say, because really I wasn't. The first half of it, I went and took a shower and cleaned up and shit, and then I came back in here and was sitting on my chair over there, not really listening. You don't know everything that's going on when you just hear one side of a conversation. So it was kind of cool just hearing his side of it, not knowing what you're going to ask him and shit. So it'll be fun to listen to that one and, you know, see what was discussed.
It was fun. I told him he's welcome on here anytime. He's an amazing human being, and I would say that whether he was your son or not. I mean, he's just an amazing human being, and he's fun to listen to, and he's got cool stories, and I was happy to be able to do it again, you know?
Yeah. Right. And he's 23 years old.
Yes.
And the life he's lived.
Yeah, we reiterated that many times.
Life he's lived since he was 18. Yeah, just what he's done in the last 4 to 5 years of his life. That's one of the things we kept pressing on him when he joined the Marines and was overseas. It's like, dude, just go see that side of the world, man.
Yeah.
Because chances are you're never going to do it again. He loves Japan. We've talked about that. And if he stays in, which, you know, it's a 50-50, he wants to go back to Japan just because of it's so inexpensive to live there, and the culture is so badass. And I kind of give him shit like, dude, you should have learned Japan. You should have learned to speak Japanese while you were there, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, dual language would be badass, especially Japanese, because then you could go back there and legit go back there and fucking, you know, live and, you know, aside from the humidity and the rain, he liked it. He has nothing bad to say about Japan, you know. So
yeah, I made him reiterate that at least 3 or 4 times. It's like, dude, you're 23 years old. You just lived in Japan. You've accomplished becoming a sergeant. You've accomplished graduating drill instructor school. There's a lot of 23-year-old kids that are still picking boogers in their fucking nose in their parents' basement, you know? Right?
And the thing is he's so humble. He gets irritated when I call him a sergeant in public.
I did not do that to him.
But he did it at 4.5 years. He became
I know, it's fucking crazy.
But he became a sergeant about 4 years in. That's unheard of.
I know.
It's unheard of.
That's why I keep
bringing it up. And then the fact that he's graduated that school. And really, had he not failed a uniform inspection, and he didn't have to sit out for one of the physical days because he was having issues with his IT band, I think he probably would have ended up finishing first in his class and or won the fitness part of it. But it is what it is. Still, you know, what started, I think, as 76 in the class ended up with 41, and he was second in class, and he hung out with the first, second, third guys. They all hung out together, which the cool thing, and I'll win the show with this. The cool thing about that, boys and girls, you want to be the best at what you do. You hang out with the ones that are going to push you to be the best for what you can do. So Jake purposely was hanging out with the kid that was in the hunt for number one and the other kid that was in the hunt for number one. All three of these kids are trying to be the top of their class.
And I'm purposely
And
hanging
they
out
all
with
hung
you
out
because you
together
do
on
the
a
same
daily
thing for me.
basis. Right. But it's just, that's the cool thing about that is
That's a true statement.
he's
though.
always been a leader, but absolutely. And he's always been a leader. He's never embraced being a leader. And I ingrained in his head from day one that he would be a great drill instructor. And so I don't know if he did it half-assedly because I kept telling him he'd be great at it, or if he did it because he really wanted to do it.
He sounded like he
Either
really
way,
wanted to do it. Now you need to
Proud as
listen to
fuck
it.
for the simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really going to.
I will.
Now
No, I
you're
will.
really going
That's
to
one of the
enjoy
reasons
it.
why too. I didn't. Right on. That's one of the reasons I left the room, because you speak more freely when nobody's sitting there.
Yeah.
You know? So it's kind of like you go to therapy. If you go to therapy with your wife, you're not going to be as open as you would be if you go to therapy alone.
Yeah,
or
and
vice versa. So
I mean,
when he said, "I'm like, dude, you take over all
it goes without saying, but I think one of the things that it sounds weird to talk about yourself in the third person, but I think one of the things that you would say about me is I make people feel comfortable. You know, random strangers will start telling me their
You
fucking
do.
life story,
Absolutely.
and I'm not shitting you. I'll be standing in the grocery store, and
yeah, and that's
some lady will be
and that's
like,
where you
my
yeah,
car just
yeah.
got hit and my sister's in the hospital. And I'm like, what the fuck do I, I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but like, why are you telling me this? I just want a fucking pound of ham.
Right. No. But see, but that's one of the things that I think connected you and I from the word go at that Candlebox shows, because we're both very old souls.
Yeah.
And
We knew it
we're
right
very
away.
open, and because same shit happens to me.
You and I
same
knew
shit
each
happens to me. I'm
other.
an open house, and a guy starts telling me his life story. All I'm doing is fucking showing him my house.
You and I knew each other from
Yeah.
the word go. There was
No, we did, because really,
we've never been strangers ever.
Mm-mm.
We just didn't know each other. We didn't know of
No.
each other. And then we were instant friends. That's how it went down.
Correct.
That's how the whole
Yeah.
band happened.
And it's
Rick,
rare. And that
you,
goes back
Scott.
Right. Yeah. It's cool, man. It's fun. All right, so be on the lookout for your birthday present. I hope it gets there by Friday. If not, my bad.
It's all good, man.
And we'll leave you with that, boys and girls.
Thank
Until
you.
next time. See you.
Love you, brother. Peace.
You're welcome. You as well, my friend.